Okay, so welcome to our podcast. This is a little bit different today because this podcast is a spin-off of our radio show. Okay, yes, so Hannah, thanks for being here.
So excited.
Okay, so you always wear black.
Yes.
Okay. Up until about a month ago, I always wore black t-shirt and jeans. That's all I ever wore. And then I met this woman from England who went to the University of Fashion School or something in England, and she asked if she could do my colors. You ever heard of this before?
No. Well, like I asked ChatGPT what colors look good on me, and it says not black.
Are you
which
serious?
Of course is what I wear. Yeah. So if that's what you're talking about.
That's what it did to me.
Yeah.
That's what she said to me. And I literally have, I buy, especially I have these t-shirts. I love the Gap t-shirts. And at Christmas time, they're like $5 and I'll buy 30 of them.
Yeah.
And so I still have them in plastic stacked up. And I figure when one gets really beat up, then I open it up. Or if I have a fancy night, I open up a new shirt. So she says to me, you sit down in this chair and she puts these fabrics on you. And then and there's a mirror and you can see what she sees. And she'll be like, this color does this, does this. And she puts black on me and she goes, oh, she called it dreadful.
Oh,
and she
God.
said, she goes, look, you can see, she started pointing out all these marks on my face that I didn't know were there. She goes, you see that? The darkness there? Yeah. She goes, don't ever wear black. I was like, oh my God. Then she gave me a label and I'm a soft autumn. So these are soft autumn colors that I would never wear in a million years. So I was like all insecure. I asked my wife about the color. I asked Madison, I asked Tyler, and Tyler only wears black and you only wear black. What if you're a soft autumn?
I think I am a soft autumn.
Are you serious?
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I'm earthy tones, apparently, according to AI. It says don't wear any harsh colors like harsh black or harsh white or like harsh pinks or greens or anything, but soft, earthy tones that I should wear. But it's just, okay, I work 100 hours a week. Mm-hmm. How the hell am I supposed to go figure out a whole new wardrobe and all these color matching? Like, I don't even know how to dress myself.
Okay, that's what she does too. She gets your outfits together. I have a friend of mine hired her, and she was going to Europe for like 3 weeks. And her name's Nikki. Nikki came and picked all her clothes, went shopping with her, and then picked all the outfits. And she has an app for you to take with you, and she packed for her. Like
that sounds amazing.
I'm going to introduce you to her.
Yeah, that sounds like it's
amazing.
Above my pay grade. I'm like, I just want to get to the financial status to have a personal designer that shops for me, puts my clothes out, dry cleans, because I don't dry clean. I don't go to the hemming place. I have a pile of things to get hemmed because my body doesn't fit anything. I have to wear stretchy clothes because it's the only thing that'll fit me. And I've literally had the pile to go get hemmed for like 3 years. I've never been to the hemmer.
You have to meet her because she also is obscenely successful. Like her house, I've never seen this in a house before. She has a ballroom in her house.
What?
Like a ballroom, like where massive weddings, it's downstairs. I was like, what the heck? I've never seen anything like that before.
That's crazy.
She's fascinating. Yeah. So
sounds like it's above my pay grade.
I will introduce you, and then it would be interesting to start seeing different colors on your, because that's what happened to me.
What does she charge for this autumn palette?
Well, it's different. So for me, I had her on the show on my radio show, and we did a thing, and I have to follow up with her and what she does is she gives you also a little book of swatches. So whenever you go shopping, it's your colors. So you don't waste time looking at it. So you're like, okay, is this my color? So I haven't done that part. And when you do that part, then you pay.
Gotcha.
So I haven't done that, but she's fascinating.
Okay.
But anyway,
Well,
thanks for coming on here.
Of course. Happy to be here. It's nice to meet you actually in person. I feel like I know you already, you know, through our Instagram. And you had me on your live Kiss FM radio show.
Yeah.
And
I had you on the show because I felt you blew me off.
I'm sorry.
Because you talked about, it was over a year ago, I was supposed to be on your podcast.
Isn't that crazy?
And I was talking about it on my radio show. We were doing a segment called Ghosted. And I was like, and everyone was like, has anyone been ghosted by anybody? And we want to do a non-romantic ghosted. And I was like, actually, I was asked to be on a podcast and there was no follow-up. I wonder what happened. But there's a lot of stuff that happened between there with my son and you had some stuff. So we ended up, so now here you are. So how do you explain what you do for a living?
I finance commercial real estate nationwide. So we go out and we find the best capital for commercial real estate projects, whether you're buying it, you're refinancing it, or you're developing it. We'll go out there and capitalize it for you. And then we just, we charge a fee, and we're a capital advisory firm.
Can I ask you to dumb that down?
Yeah.
What does that mean again? So you're like,
we finance commercial real estate.
So like what? Like if someone wants to buy a Circle
K. So if you were to buy this studio,
right?
You would say, hey, Hannah, I'm buying the studio.
Can you help me?
Can you help me get the financing? And I would say, well, my team would say, hey, yes, absolutely. What's your experience? Do you own any other real estate? Send over your financials. We'll put a package together and then we'll submit it to like 100 different lenders. And then we'll present to you all the different options. This is the interest rate of this lender. This is the term of this lender. This one wants a personal guarantee. This one doesn't. And then you get to kind of pick what's the best for you. And then we'll navigate the whole process from start to finish. So it's an easy process for you.
How long have you been doing that?
Well, I've been in commercial real estate since I was 18 and I'm 30 in 10 days. So,
Wow.
But capital markets, which is lending, I started lending in 2020 with my own money as a private lender. So if you were going to go buy like a fix and flip house, you would say, hey, Hannah, I'm buying a fix and flip. Do you want to finance it? And I would finance it with my own money. And that's how I got into the lending space. And I really enjoyed that. But my pockets, only went so deep.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to scale a national company. And that's what birthed HB Capital. And so now we can do $100 million projects, $1 billion projects, $2 million projects, all different sizes because it's not, my capital.
But if somebody says, I want to buy a house and flip it, have you ever said no?
Well, now, we do residential, but we don't really do anything under like $1.5 million. So we do luxury ground up construction financing or like luxury flips, but for a small, $300,000 fix and flip, that's not really our, cup of tea because we focus primarily on commercial real estate.
So how did you start this at 18? How does this happen? How does this door open for you?
So I was, very low income growing up. Dad works at a pawn shop, not too far from here, actually. Not the nicest, well, I guess it's not Paradise Valley,
Right.
it's a pawn shop. People go in and they steal jewelry and then they sell it to the pawn shop, right?
Right.
So I knew pretty young that I had to have money to be happy. At least that's what I thought when I was 7 years old, because my family just wasn't happy. My parents fought a lot. I was sure as hell not happy. My brothers weren't happy. And so I had a wealthy friend that I met at 7 years old that had money and they were very happy. And so I'm like, okay, money equals happiness. How do I get money? And then I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki when I was 13. And he taught, and he's now my dear friend. He lives here in Arizona and he's my friend in real life now. So it's amazing how full circle life happens to be. But he teaches buy assets, not liabilities. He teaches the rich buy assets, the poor and middle class buy liabilities, right? And he says assets are things that put money in your pocket. So for example, if you buy a studio and you rent it out and it cash flows every month, that's an asset, right? But if you go buy a car and it takes money out of your pocket every month, that's a liability. So he taught me that concept through that book. And then he taught me that rich people get very good at public speaking, capital raising, and sales. And so now I'm in capital raising, public speaking, and sales. And he also taught me that skills is what makes you rich, not money. And so I was obsessed with learning forever. I was always top of my class, always obsessed with learning, listening to audiobooks in the shower or on my walks or at the gym and reading and listening to podcasts. And so I really just followed his blueprint and decided to get my license at 18 years old. And that was 2014. I'm 18, waiting to go to college, which I went to engineering school on a full ride merit scholarship. But I was like, okay, let me just dive into real estate while I wait to go to college. And obviously had no network, no listings. And so I just went to the brokerage that I hung my license with. And I said, hey, who has a listing in my neighborhood that I can hold an open house? Middle of summer, which is off market, 120 degrees out, not a good time for open houses. And I held that house open and it was like a $200,000 house. One person showed up right as I was wrapping up to leave, and he listed a $1.1 million commercial property with me, which is Moon Valley Nursery now in Phoenix.
Oh, wow. I do their commercials.
Huh?
I do their commercials
do
for
you
Moon
really?
Valley Nurseries. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So that's how I got started. And I made $36,000 and I bought a property.
Off the $200,000 house?
Off the client that walked into the $200,000 house.
Oh, so you didn't sell that house to him. He later said, hey, can you help me?
Yes.
And then you said, wow.
Yeah, he that day said, can you help me sell my commercial property?
Wow. So at 13, when you read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, you were like, this is what I want to do. I want to dig into this. And then what are other books that you've read? Like you said, you're listening to books on tape in the shower. Like what are other motivational books that help steer you a certain way?
Well, I read all of his books, Cash Flow Quadrant and his whole series of books. I read The Millionaire Real Estate Agent back in the day by Gary Keller because I was going to get my license. I read that, I think, right when I was 18. And then pretty much every book, like right now I'm reading the book, How to Make a Few $1 Billion. But I also read a lot of personal development books.
Like those. Like, tell me about those.
Yeah. So Joe Dispenza, Becoming Supernatural.
Dude, you're like the fourth person that's brought up Joe Dispenza in here.
I love him.
Like, yeah, that's wild.
Well, because
have you gone to his retreats or anything?
I haven't.
I have a friend of mine that's going to the one in Cancun or Cabo, and it's like 7 days of silence or something. Yeah,
that's crazy. I know. Like back to the work 100 hours a week. I need to figure out how to have 7 days of silence. That actually sounds like my worst nightmare. Silence is the most difficult thing for me. But that's why I meditate now daily.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay, like how? When?
10 minutes twice a day, morning and night. But I do proactive meditation. So when I go into my meditation, I go into it with a question that I want to solve. Mm-hmm. And then I just focus on the question for the whole time. So I'm not really like the meditation the Joe Dispenza meditation where you sit there and you just focus on your breath, or you transcendental meditation. I got certified in that. It's where you repeat a mantra over and over and over again. My mantra, you're not supposed to ever say your mantra, so I'm not going to ruin it for the community, but let's just say the mantra's love, right? So you would just repeat love, 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 20 minutes twice a day. And that type of meditation is much harder for me because that's where the brain like goes off and tries to wander, but then you have to come back to love, love, love.
That's what my wife does, meditation every day, but she does, what would you call that? Like, it's like from India. It's these two gurus. Huh. In fact, my first interview in this podcast was with one of them. And they're out of India. Tony Robbins went there.
Yeah.
Have you ever gone to a Tony Robbins seminar?
No, I have not. And he's also one of my biggest leaders and mentors that I followed.
Yeah, I was listening to his cassettes when I was 18. Wow. And I would listen. And then I went to one of his, I saw him at a restaurant one time and I freaked out like he was my Justin Bieber.
Yeah, you know I would too.
Yeah, and he said he talked to me forever. It was unbelievable. And then he invited me to come to his Date with Destiny in West Palm. So I went, and it was incredible. I was just blown away by that guy. Like,
I want to go. Yeah, I need to go. Actually, I literally someone asked me. I'm in a bunch of masterminds, and they have a whole group VIP at the Date with Destiny in Florida this year.
That's where he put me.
Perfect.
Do it. It was unbelievable. But that's where he does a thing called the blessing, where he's one of the few people in the world. It's called the Diksha, that he is allowed to give this Diksha, and he did it because he went to India and lived at this temple for like 6 weeks. And these people, he's one of the few people allowed to do the Diksha, and he did it. And then the way things happen, the people I met, they're the ones that taught him how to do it. And they came here and they did it on this podcast to me. It was unbelievable. Wow. But it's a different kind of meditation, but it's good to know that you meditate. Their meditation, like I absolutely believe it. I actually have their meditation on a loop. I don't say it, but I have it playing all the time. And in the morning, I have my special routines, and I work out every morning listening to their meditation. But
you'll have to share it with me.
Oh, sure. It's pretty amazing. She does a meditation every morning with a group of people. Like,
oh, really?
Share it with you. Yeah, it's 24 minutes.
Okay.
At what time in the morning is it live?
6 o'clock a.m.
Is it like on Zoom or something?
Yeah, they all do it. And it's all these people that you probably know that are part of the Joe Dispenza group, all these people you know. Ian from Spiritual Gangster.
Yeah, he's great.
Ian?
I know him.
Yeah, he was actually my last interview. Him and I him and I went to Palm Beach together to the Date with Destiny.
Oh, how fun.
Who else is in that group? Pardis. Oh, I know you're a Joe. Are you Joe Polish?
Pardis?
Yeah, Pardis is part of it.
I love Pardis.
Oh, we love her too.
She's every day in the meditation. Pardis.
Oh, wow.
She was my guest right here too. She's got a story.
Yeah, okay. I should have her on my show.
Yeah, you should. She's amazing.
I saw her at Jordan Peterson's house on Halloween. I haven't seen her since though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I love that guy.
Jordan Peterson?
Yeah. Is he doing okay?
I don't know.
I had heard something.
I know his daughter, Michaela.
Oh, yeah.
So she threw a Halloween party.
You know a guy named Stuart?
Stuart who?
Just Stuart?
No.
No, what's it? Stuart Ellis? Do you know Stuart?
I don't know.
Is that what Stuart does? What she does? I had lunch with Stuart, and he said Michaela moved into our neighborhood.
Yeah. It's in Paradise Valley.
And I was like, oh man.
Same.
And I'm a huge fan of hers too.
Yeah. I love Jordan. He's so, I actually am watching his biblical series right now. I like to think I'm smart, but he's challenging for me to stay up with when he speaks. And so I have to really be fully focused on it. It's not something like I can listen to while I'm working out, like counting reps and listening to Jordan Peterson. I just want to blow my head off. But yeah, I try to get dialed in, and like if I'm on a walk or something, I'll listen to his biblical series, which is pretty crazy. I started studying the Bible recently. I was never a religious person, always had a relationship with God, but didn't identify really much with religion because long story, but my parents were very religious and I hated religion because of it and all these things. But anyway, the Bible actually has some pretty great messages, like for
a couple of good ones.
Yeah. I'm like,
don't kill.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm reading all these business books. I'm like, there's some pretty good business lessons in the Bible and life lessons and relationship lessons. I'm like, I really enjoy reading scripture. But I have to break it down in AI because it's so hard to understand. Right. I'm like, okay, every day my AI sends me the next scripture. So I'm like, I'm reading it scripture by scripture from the first one. Genesis 1:1, I think was the first one. And then I have it break it down and apply it to my personal, personal development, my relationships, and then my business. Mm-hmm. And so it breaks down and kind of translates the scripture into how I apply it. And it's so cool. And
when
it's
you say
so
my
useful.
AI, which AI do you use? Or is it?
All of them. But my main AI is Claude.
Oh, Claude.
Yeah, I love Claude. I divorced ChatGPT.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it sucks now.
I love ChatGPT.
Well, that's what everyone started with. Oh. They still have the biggest market share, but Claude.
Oh.
Yeah, Claude. ChatGPT is like the ugly stepchild compared to Claude now.
Do you go to church ever?
I don't. I tried recently because I hadn't been to church. I used to get really bad anxiety just walking up to a church because I really didn't enjoy it growing up because I did go to church as a kid. And then actually the last time I went to church as a kid, my mom could only get me there because they were offering to pay $100 for whoever memorized every verse of the Bible and said them the fastest. And so I was like, oh, I'll show up for that. And I won the class, but that was the last time I went to church. But then I went a couple weeks ago to the one up in North Scottsdale. It's just, I think it has to be the right situation, but it's just not really for me.
We have this church we go to where it's a whole different ball game.
Really?
The preacher, I mean, every time we walk out of there, he's like a mini Tony Robbins.
Who is the preacher?
Terry Christ.
Yeah, see, I want to go. I want to find a good pastor.
He's downtown. He bought this church this old Presbyterian church, but he's really modern. Mm-hmm. But he is just, he's a badass. He's a total badass. Am I right?
Yes.
Like you'll walk out of it, like you get business. Like he doesn't, I mean, somehow he explains success in life, and then you walk out of there with a Bible lesson that you didn't know you got.
Yeah, I just feel like sometimes I feel like the pastors are just very fake or putting on a show or very.
Yeah, not this guy.
I don't know.
This is one of my favorite people of all time. He truly is. Yeah. So let me ask you this then. So your dad's running a pawn shop. Do you still
not running, working at?
Working at. Yeah. What about now?
Still there.
He's still there at the pawn shop.
Yeah. It's funny. My great aunt is 102 years old. I've worked through a lot of, daddy issues through my life and done a lot of healing and personal development and all of this. And so now I'm at peace with all of that, but had a very not enjoyable relationship with my father growing up. And, I always tell these stories because we had a lot of scarcity in our home. We didn't have a lot of money. And my dad had a lot of weird tendencies, like, turning off all the lights and fans, incessantly around the house. He'd walk around the house and make sure everything was turned off. And if we turned one on, he'd be there like 3 seconds later and turn it off.
Like OCD type of stuff? Or just like
saving money? Okay. Maybe he's OCD too. Probably. He probably is. But saving money was the thing. And then just, not really running the air conditioner to a normal, comfortable temperature in the summer, or running the heat if we needed it ever in the winter, or taking a shower like in the pool to save on the water bill. My grandfather bought us a house. And so luckily we, had a home and all that. But anyway, he used to go around the house and unplug things that were plugged in. So like the toaster, the microwave, like anything that was plugged in, he would walk around the house and he would unplug it because he thought it was taking too much electricity. Mm-hmm. And so yesterday, my great aunt, bless her heart, is, in her final days. She's 102 years old. She raised him. He still lives with her. Never really lived on his own other than when him and my mom were married. But we order oreganos and I heat up the pizza cookie in the microwave. And I'm like, I wonder if my dad still unplugs things. And so I heat up the pizza cookie in the microwave and I leave the kitchen. And 3 seconds later, he goes around the other corner and he unplugs the microwave. And so then I go back and I go get like a second piece of cookie and I'm just laughing in my head. I don't say anything. I get a second piece of cookie and I go put it back in the microwave and I go out the other door. 3 seconds later, he comes in the other door and he unplugs the microwave. And I'm like, oh my God, how far we've come. Yeah. Some of us just don't change.
But does he know, obviously, about your success?
Yeah.
And how does he take that?
He doesn't really care.
Does he say, hey, I'm proud of you? Wow, what you've done is unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is your mom around?
He still has a flip phone that doesn't even have numbers saved in it.
Wow.
It's like a pay as you go.
Right.
So it's not like he's like aware of,
What about your mom?
My mom is very proud of me. Yeah. She lives in Oregon. She's great. She's proud of me and yeah.
Are your brothers around here too?
One of them is. He's still, growing up, struggling a bit, but my other brother lives in Maui. He ended up starting a fishing company out there and just had a baby and got married and he's doing really well.
What fishing company? We used to go out there all the time. My son lives in Oahu.
Oh, really?
But we go to Maui all the time.
Okay. Well, it used to be called Start Me Up was who he worked for. And then he ended up buying a boat from his old boss and now his company's called Automatic.
Does he sell the fish that he catches and makes poke bowls and stuff?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Oh, we got to look him up. We're going to be there in August.
Yeah. Start Me Up.
Wow.
Sport fishing. But they've been through the ringer because the COVID and then the fires. And then it's just like one thing after another out there. So bless their heart. It's been a rough few years. I actually moved out there for a year before COVID. It's not for me. Great place to visit.
Oh, it's because you're moving 100 miles an hour. You can't.
Mm-mm.
Have you seen, did you go all around there, all around Maui?
Yeah.
Have you seen, there's a restaurant there that we were so, it was the same restaurant that's here. It's called Delight.
Mm-hmm.
You see, but it's out of business because the owner couldn't get anybody to work for him.
Oh, yeah.
So the middle is this beautiful building with the greatest food and they can't get anyone, so it's closed down.
Mm-hmm.
But it's painted all nice, looks brand new.
No, it's people just want to, do drugs and drink and go hang out on the beach. Yeah. So
the guy, I got to tell you something because you and I were talking last year or so, right? And since you and I were talking, I saw that there's that guy I follow. I can't remember his Instagram account, but he's the guy that goes, "Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir."
Yeah, School of Hard Knocks.
School of Hard Knocks. Yeah. James, that's his name. Is he here?
No.
Because I saw him do you, right?
Yeah. He interviewed me. He interviewed Robert Kiyosaki too, and Ken McElroy, and all those guys. But no, I think he actually lives in Florida, but he's all over the world.
Right. So he comes up to you and says, "How old was he? Excuse me. How old are you when you made your first million? Is that what he asked?
Yeah. How old are you when you became a millionaire?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. And he's got a gazillion followers now.
Yeah, like 22 million.
Yeah.
In 3 years.
So he asked you that.
Crazy.
You're coming out of the car.
Yep.
And you tell him, I think, was it 21?
25.
25 when you became, and it was because you sold what? Like what got you there?
Because I got my real estate license, I started selling high ticket sales, commercial real estate. I did residential too. And I used those commissions to buy properties, and then properties went up in value and I renovated the properties. And so sure enough, I'm doing a personal financial statement, which I hadn't done. I did my personal financial statement. I was like, holy crap, I'm a millionaire. I've got these assets. I got this, cash flow. I was making about 6 figures a year in cash flow from my rental properties. I was doing Airbnbs and, I was 25 years old and I was like, well, didn't need to be working at my engineering job anymore. And so I just wanted to go full into entrepreneurship and do all that. So
you did pursue the engineering thing? You did go to school and do the engineering thing? Where's the engineering school?
I got a full ride. I knew I wanted to sell real estate and invest here, and I didn't want to be in debt with liabilities like the book taught me. And so I went here, got a full ride to ASU, and then graduated in 3.5 years with, summa cum laude, 4.0 GPA.
Jeez.
Yeah. But it was not a fun. I was suicidal in that
time.
God.
I was like for real?
Yeah. I would try to drown myself. I was a mess. I had a lot of problems. I was anxious, like really bad anxiety, really bad depression, horrible eating disorder, didn't leave my house. I didn't even go to campus. Like everyone's like, oh, you went to ASU, you must have partied. I'm like, I didn't meet one person the entire time I was at school. Like I don't know one person's name from college. I don't remember one teacher's name. I would only show up to take the exams and I would teach myself third dimensional calculus out of my book at home.
Wow. So how do you try to drown yourself? What do you do? Tie yourself to like a
It sounds really stupid looking back, as the brain doesn't want to drown.
right?
So it's pretty hard to drown yourself. I would just try to drown. I would just
Did
try to
you-
go underwater and not come back up, but I
Did
would
you
always
get-
come back up.
Did you eventually get therapy, get help, or you just read a book that turned yourself around?
Yeah, no, I got help. The main thing was I had a really bad eating disorder, and the eating disorder made me very insecure. And so then I was isolated. So I talked to nobody. I had like literally nobody in my life. I was just living in a 1-bedroom condo, not talking to a single soul, studying third dimensional calculus and physics, which was brutally difficult, doing a 6-year degree in 3 years. So it was, I was just putting myself through absolute misery. And I think isolation is the worst thing. And that's why now everything I do is around people. Like I love people so much now. And I just want to be talking to people all day long, working with people, helping people, serving people, learning from people, educating people. And because I had none of that for the first pretty much 25 years of my
But
life.
what pulled you out of that? Like, what was it where you were like, all right, how do I get out of this isolation? What took you there? What took you out?
I graduated and I got offered a job for Caterpillar. And so I had to go to an office every day.
The tractors?
Yeah.
Like Empire?
Yeah.
Oh, I just had lunch with the CEO the other day.
Jeff?
Jeff, he's one of my best friends.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Like I was texting with him all day yesterday because I'm doing something with him.
I love Jeff.
Wow.
I would like idolize Jeff.
In fact, I was just about to, I was going to tell you a story that I had this friend of mine, because of the money you're making. I have this friend of mine that gave me this, and he's come up 3 or 4 times in this podcast where he said to me, life is about experiences, is what he said to me. And that hit home for me. So like I've always, like my dad died and barely had it. He had some money, but not a lot of money. And he always kept saying to me growing up, someday we're going to do this. Someday someday never came.
Right.
So after, Jeff hit me between the eyes with that, I was like, okay, I got floor seats to the Suns. We go to Maui. I do everything we can. I mean, we kind of live a really good life now. And every time I take us to the edge where I think it's a little too much, I look at my wife and I go, life's about experiences. And I got that from Jeff Whiteman.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. He was always, flying his jet to Montana and on his ranch. And
He said to me, sorry to interrupt. He goes to me one time, my son Dutch, our youngest son, I can't remember how old he was. Him and I were having lunch. It was like a Wednesday. And my kids and my wife were always up in Pine Top. We had a cabin in Pine Top. And I would go, and I make it a point to be there for every one of my kids' birthdays. It was like a Wednesday. And I was like, yeah, I'm so bummed. Tomorrow's my son's birthday. And I go, it's the first time I'm going to miss. He might have been turning 8. Jeff goes, why are you going to miss it? I go, it's 3.5 hours up. I said, the airline, there's a short airline that he's close. He goes, take my plane. I was like,
Aww.
what? He gave me his friggin' jet, flew to Pine Top in like 11 minutes, right?
Yeah.
I surprised him on the golf course, hung out with him, hugged, had dinner, and then I took all of them back on the jet. And it was all because of Jeff.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just remember, I was 21 years old, miserable inside. It was huge for me to get better because it forced me to be around people. And then I was getting a lot of accolades being there because people were saying how good of a job I was doing and like, you're doing really good here. And I was getting to fly on private jets, and they gave me like a work vehicle that was a beautiful, brand new Tahoe, and it was so much fun. I had a credit card and I got to go to fancy dinners, and I had never experienced anything like that in my life. And they gave me so much freedom. I'm just a kid, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. And I remember Jeff called me into his office. I think it was the only time I actually got to have a one-on-one conversation with him that wasn't in a meeting with the leadership team or anything like that. But he called me into his office a few months after I'd started working there. And I can't remember the specifics of all the conversation, but one thing that he said that stuck with me, and I still operate today in my companies, was he said his grandfather had taught him, because his grandfather started in the Inland Empire when he was farming, using the equipment to farm. And he said his grandfather had taught him, take care of your farm, and your farm will always take care of you. You feed your farm, you feed your crops, you water it, you take care of it, and it will feed you forever. And so he said, Hannah, now today I translate that into take care of your people, and your people will always take care of you. And don't ever forget that. And so that's how I operate in my life. I'm like, take care of my people, like the world. I think the whole world is my people. Take care of people and people will take care of you. And that's always been my focus and really what fills my cup is just trying to take care of people as much as I possibly can.
His cousin has been my best friend since we were 12 years old. His cousin was the best man at my wedding. So I know the grandpa, and I know the dad. I know it's such a trip that you brought him up. So
that's crazy.
Mind blown. I mean, we had lunch on Wednesday and he is shredded.
Really?
Yeah. And
on the peptides, huh?
On the peptides.
I love peptides.
So he put me on this protocol. I started today. That's what's so weird. Like I was texting him last night going, so are you doing the peptides?
Oh, hell yeah.
What do you do? Talk to me.
I love the peptides. I actually, I need to start selling peptides. I have a really good transformation story from them because eating disorder since 15 years old. Starved myself. Because I was starving, I developed a sleep eating disorder. So I would like binge eat in my sleepwalking with no control. Then gained a bunch of weight. Then was addicted to food, fully addicted to food. My brain would not stop thinking about it because I starved myself for so many years. Then, and this is what created all the isolation and I'm unworthy and I'm ugly and I'm fat and I don't need to be alive anymore and all this, that stupid stuff. But ultimately did a lot of the healing work. Well, I was addicted to food. Then I became bulimic because I didn't want to get fat and all these things. So went through a lot of therapy, started exercising. Like I was too insecure to go to the gym. So I started running outside just alone and ran a half marathon and started to feel some confidence in myself and actually feel better about myself. And so became obsessed with exercise. But then, did all this therapy, did a lot of plant medicine, which helped me a lot. Like forgive all the people I've been holding on to resentment towards that I didn't even know, like my dad and my family and my high school boyfriend that cheated on me, like all the people, right? And then, but still, like the food thing was always challenging for me, even through all the healing. I was always just kind of thinking, like if there was food around me, I was thinking about it. And it would consume my brain. And I couldn't buy groceries because I would just eat them all. Even though I'd healed a lot, I still had this thing that I really couldn't get rid of. Well, the peptides helped me completely cure that. And so I take, what do I take? NAD.
I took NAD this morning.
Yeah.
Okay,
NAD. I don't really notice anything with NAD, but people say it's great.
Right.
I just started taking the Glow, like for your hair, skin, and nails.
I don't know that one.
I take the BPC 157 to help with recovery, and then I take Retatrutide.
Oh my God!
Retatrutide is the one that helped me with the eating
I
issue.
just started it this morning.
It's amazing.
I got it from Jeff.
Well, thank you, Jeff. You're gonna love it. I literally have like a 6-pack right now.
What the heck? That's what I told you. He was shredded, and he sits down with me, and I'm like, "What the hell?" I go, he's got like his arm muscles are just there. Yeah. And I'm like, what are you doing? He starts telling me everything. So he sent it to me. He sent me the Retatrutide, and I just took it today. That's unbelievable. And I don't know if Retatrutide is it out? Because I thought someone else said, hey, it's not really out yet. It's not like they call it a GLP-3, but it really isn't.
Well,
you take a shot?
I don't know if it's legal or not, but I take it.
Once a week?
Yeah. Once a week, the little insulin shots. I hate needles, but it's like the microscopic thing. Anybody can do that. And
would you say that gave you abs? The Retatrutide?
Well, the Retatrutide cuts your appetite. So it gets rid of all the food cravings.
When does that kick in? Because I've been starving all day.
Well, you just took it this morning?
Yeah.
And they always start you on a small dose. Yeah. How much did you take?
8 little lines. And Jeff's like my doctor right now.
8 little lines. So like, 8 units?
Yeah, 8 units.
Yeah, okay. I take like 40.
40 units?
Yeah.
Holy smokes. Because he was like, you got to be careful. We'll start you off really slow to see how it works. And a buddy of mine, Stuart, who I was telling you about.
I probably should have done that. I didn't. I just went.
So you're at 8, no matter. And do you ever get sick when you started? How long have you been doing it?
The only thing I've noticed is lately, the past couple months, I would say, since I started Reta. Before Reta, I was on Trizepatide. And Trizepatide, I didn't feel exhaustion. Like now I feel exhaustion. Sometimes it'll be 3 p.m. and I'll pass out on my computer. No, I won't literally pass out.
Is that because you're not eating?
Probably. I'm thinking that. Like I'm not drinking as much water. I'm definitely not eating as I'm probably only eating I'm probably not eating a lot. I maybe 1,200 calories a day.
Because what I read was you have to really push yourself to eat the proteins because you lose your appetite.
I eat proteins. Yeah. I eat a lot of eggs, cottage cheese, turkey.
Wow.
So, but I have been feeling very exhausted lately, very, very low energy. So my workouts haven't been as good. I haven't been going to the gym as much. And I don't know if it's from the Retta. So I was thinking about trying to like wean off of it a bit and see if I'm on too high of a dose. And also I'm starting to get pretty skinny. So I don't want to like lose more weight, but that could be it. But other than that, I've had no side effects. That's a pretty bad side effect though, if you're exhausted.
Do you wear any of this, like a Whoop or an Oura Ring or any of that stuff?
No, I used to, but I work so much, I never even looked at the metrics.
Oh, I look at it once or twice a day.
Yeah.
But like to me, so I know 2 people, now with you, 3 people that take this ratatouille thing. I keep calling it ratatouille.
I only know 3 people that don't take it.
Really?
Yeah.
And I just
Everyone
heard it.
I know takes it. That's crazy.
So, but this one friend of mine that takes it, Stuart, I said, what are the side effects? He's 9% body fat. I said, what are the side effects? He said, well, my heart rate at night when he goes to sleep is 95 beats per minute. I go, that's terrible.
Is that high or low?
That's extremely high. Like it should never be. If you're working out, okay, but not when you're sleeping. Jeff, when I had lunch with him, his heartbeat was 49, which is elite level athlete heart rate. Like, so I decided to take a gamble and hope that mine is more like Jeff's than it is Stuart's. So I'm on day 1 today. So that's why I was hoping maybe you knew what your heart rate was. Can you sleep?
I sleep like a baby.
Oh, well, that's
I mean,
good.
I'll pass out on a plane like this for 6 hours. I'm going to fly to Florida and back. And even in an economy seat, I'll just knock out. I'm like, there's no point in paying for first class anymore because I just pass out and I'm asleep the whole flight from takeoff to takedown.
Is there something in Florida? Do you have business there?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm just all over the country all the time, but there's a lot of conferences and masterminds in Florida. So I've already been there like 5 or 6 times this year.
For mastermind specifically? Like what mastermind?
Well, different masterminds just do different locations usually throughout the country. So they'll switch from like East Coast to West Coast. But where was I? I was at Commercial Academy. It's commercial real estate mastermind. Recently, I was there for fun. Actually, my best friend's family, they're like my adopted family. That was vacation. But I do a bunch of podcasts out there because there's so many people in Miami. So every time I go out there, I just do a day of filming at the studio out there.
Like you're interviewing people? Or yeah. You know, it's something else too. I remember one of your podcasts, I had him booked. Well, I interviewed him eventually, but I saw him on your podcast first was Dr. Pompa.
Yeah.
That guy is, in fact, have you looked into stem cells? I feel like every podcast I'm talking about stem cells, but have you looked into stem cells?
I have. I actually know a great stem cell guy that a lot of entrepreneurs I know use, and he'll send someone to your house anywhere in the country. And apparently they're as good a quality as, Mexico or wherever people are going. Yeah. And I think they're pretty pricey. But I haven't taken them. I feel like I'm a pretty optimized, healthy person. And he even said, you could do it for preventative, but if you're healthy and young, it's probably not worth the investment.
Yeah, but if you're falling asleep at 3 o'clock in the afternoon or you're
right. That could just be, I'm taking too much ratatouille.
Yeah. Well, I met Pompa last year in Cabo at the stem cell clinic.
Oh,
he was getting stem cells. I was getting stem cells. And then I had him on the podcast. And I'm doing something with him in Houston in September. In fact, I got an email about it today.
Yeah, no, I think they're life-changing. I mean, I know people that have had crazy stories.
Yeah, we're going Thursday. We're going to Cancun Thursday for stem cells.
Okay, nice.
There's 2 clinics. There's a clinic in Cabo and a clinic in Cancun that are, from what I understand, are the best of the best of the best. And that's where we...
Do you have an injury?
Nope.
You're
I'm
just
trying to
doing
get
preventative?
healthy. Yeah, trying to stay as healthy and as...
Yeah.
We got 3 kids that are 3 boys that are very active. So... we're trying to do everything we can. So out of all the properties you sold, what is the biggest profit you ever made and what was it?
Well, one, I would say, oh gosh, that's so hard. Well, it's hard because I have a company. So I have people that work for me. Mm-hmm. So they all sell properties. And so those kind of count as my sales because I get a cut of all of that.
But has anyone ever called you, hey, oh my God, I just got the freaking $4 billion whatever. I got $100 million.
Nothing like massive, like 26 million was recently.
That apartment complex? Is that
no? We financed that one like 2 months ago. I think that was the most recent, the biggest one most recently. But we've got projects in the pipeline that are 40, 50, 100. There's a data center in the pipeline that we're working on that's like 3 billion. That would be a really nice one to finance. Yeah. So there's just all different deal sizes. But then we'll do a $1 million property. too.
But
So
when you say you finance something, I ask a lot of stupid questions. I sometimes have to hear things several times before it makes sense. But are you going to a bank? Are you going to people you know they have a lot of money? Are
yeah,
you like,
banks, we go to whoever they need. So that 26 million was a debt fund. So think of like, BlackRock. They go raise money from people and then they lend it out. So
Right.
that's like a debt fund. Well, that's institutional, but that same concept. That's a fund, and then they lend money out of their fund. But then you have banks, normal banks, community banks and regional banks and national banks, and then you have credit unions, smaller credit unions, and then you have life insurance companies, you have pension funds, you have endowments, you have agency, Fannie,
God,
Freddie.
you know so much.
There's a lot of capital out there. And so that's our job, is like, what is the best capital for the deal? And how do we structure the capital stack in order to get the deal done? Because you have debt and then you have equity. So there's, it's not as, maybe it's as complex as it seems, but it's really simple. I mean, you buy a building, the lender is going to lend a percentage of the price, and then you need equity. You need to bring the other percent to the table. So if you buy $100 million building, the bank's going to give you 70 million, and then you need to raise 30 million, right?
Right.
And so we kind of go out and we help structure that they call that the capital stack.
Do you do that for any like startup companies, or is it strictly commercial real estate?
Strictly real estate.
If someone came up to you with an AI company or an app and said, Hannah, can you look into this? Can you try it? Is this something, would you just say, no, I don't want to dabble into that?
Right. That's venture capital.
Right. You're not.
Yeah. That's a whole different beast. Cause then you have like your seed round and then your series A and your, that's a whole different world. I'll probably get into it eventually at some point, I would imagine. But right now I'm just like staying in my lane.
But you know it all. You know how to do it all.
Well, conceptually,
Right.
I know enough to be dangerous, but.
Do you have a dog?
I used to. I miss them. I don't have time.
Well, I was going to say, it could probably help you relax.
No, they stress me the heck out because I'm stressed because I got to take care of another thing. Yeah, no.
That's true.
I had a horse and 2 dogs. Well, I had a horse and a dog, and then I felt bad because I don't pay attention to the dog, so I got a second dog. Then I wanted to give them both away because they just play all day, and I had to, work. And then I felt bad. I love animals more than anything. That was always my safe haven growing up because I didn't trust people. And so I just loved animals, and I was just everyone made fun of me. They called me the horse girl and animal freak. Like I had chinchillas, I had a cat. I tried to convince my mom to get me an illegal hedgehog one time and try to go to California to get one. She said no. I tried to convince her to let me have a mini pony in our backyard. That didn't work out either. But I started the way I convinced my mom to let me get a chinchilla, because they're $400 and we didn't have $400, was I told her if we get 2, I can breed them and then we can profit off of the chinchillas. And so I sold her and I started a chinchilla breeding operation.
How old were you at this?
I was, I don't know, 8.
So how many chinchillas did you make?
A lot. And then I got freaked out because I found out that if there's a problem with the birth, the mom won't eat the baby.
Wow.
And I came home one day and the mom was eating the baby, and that pretty much scarred me, and I wanted nothing to do with chinchillas ever again.
So do a lot of people know that chinchilla story? Is that a...
I don't know. I don't think I've talked about it very often, but yeah, they bathe in dust. They're very fun little creatures. You can train them. So I would take mine to the store. Gage, his name was Gage because the pet store tags them. So he had these little gauges in his ears.
Oh, geez.
He's so cute. Yeah.
So,
but anyway, no dogs.
In all the success you've had and the money you've made, how have you treated yourself? Have you gone on a crazy vacation? Have you gone on what have you done just for you? Like we said, life is about experiences.
Yeah. I really, I love what I do. I'm very mission and purpose driven. And so I definitely now I'm doing things. Before I was just chasing money, but then I realized I would just get so burnt out because there was no passion behind it and I didn't love it. And so I was never going to be able to sustain, because to have a successful company, like you have to be obsessed. Otherwise you're never going to make it, because it's just, a lot. It's a lot of commitment and grit. So now I absolutely love what I do. I love who I work with. I love who I get to serve. I want a foundation to help children and underprivileged children and help in trafficking and help in foster care and like all of these big missions behind the actions that I take every day. But yes, I think my personal life and my business life, it all kind of blends. So I say I work 100 hours a week, but involved in that work is dinners, with clients, it's podcasting, it's listening to my books, it's like all of these things. And so my personal and business kind of blends, and all my friends are somehow like business associated in some way, whether we're doing business or we're podcasting or we're masterminding or whatever. And so I love all of that. I truly, absolutely love it. Like I never wake up and dread the day. I really don't. I love working hard. And then all the travel with the masterminds, it's fun because I'm not really going, I don't take vacations per se. I did recently, but then I'm doing podcasting while I'm out there, and business dinners.
You mean when you went to Miami
Yeah.
or to Florida? So like it's a vacation.
That was a
Right,
vacation.
right.
Yeah. And so, but it's fun because I get to blend the two together. And so, yes, I do that. Like when I travel, I do some sort of work with it because I love it and that's my passion. But I get to go travel around and see different places in the world. I haven't really explored too far. I've been to Europe a few times, and I haven't been to Asia or anything, or South America yet. So I have a lot of traveling that I want to do. But right now it's a lot of inner US exploration.
Do you drink?
No.
Ever?
No.
Never once got into drinking alcohol?
No, I mean, I'll have some drinks like once a year, but I just hate the taste of alcohol. I have to force myself to drink.
Does the Retitutide thing help with like?
Yeah, alcohol.
Does it just make you not like stuff?
It switches the dopamine receptors in your brain, and so it reduces all of your cravings, like for everything. And so alcohol sales are way down. Food sales are way down. Like in the US, I think the food industry is down billions.
You think it's because of all the GLP-1s?
Oh, it is. Yeah.
It is?
Yeah.
So I thought the alcohol thing was because Gen Z is just not drinking. They're doing freaking, what do you call it?
Mushrooms. Yeah.
Mushrooms.
Psychedelics.
Freaking psychedelics, the weed gummies, all that stuff.
Yeah. Weed. That definitely, that was my numbing of choice for many, many years, but I don't do anything anymore.
So do you, like for me, like before I came here today, I sat in the sauna for 20 minutes. Like I try to clear my brain. Is there, outside of the meditation you do you do anything like do sauna?
I used to. This hair makes it really hard to, because I can, it takes, if I wash my hair, it takes me 2.5 hours. And I don't have time for that. So if I sauna'd, I can only sauna technically like on hair wash day, where I've been a whole week and I'm like, all right, this is the final stretch here. And it's hard for me to coordinate that on a Sunday every week because I wash my hair before a podcast. So I end up not saunaing because of the hair.
Because I feel like I got to get the toxins out, and it helps me. Like, well, I also, you work out, you sweat,
I work
you
out.
got to sweat and get all that stuff out of your system, right?
Yeah, but I don't do high sweat workouts because of the hair. So generally, I do more weight training and stuff. So I sweat a little bit, but yeah, I probably have too many toxins inside of me.
In the business world, have you ever had a deal go south that you were like really bummed about?
Oh my God.
Yeah?
All the time.
Like, is it cutthroat? Like you made a deal with somebody and they backstabbed you? That stuff happened?
Oh, all the time. Yeah.
Really?
I just lost out on I didn't lose. I mean, it's usually opportunity cost, right? It's like you're so close to getting the deal done and then you don't end up getting it done or whatever. And it's not like the money was in your account and someone took it out.
Right.
You lose the opportunity. But I think emotional intelligence is one of the most important keys to success, because if you can't handle the stress of loss, how are you going to handle anything in your life? And I've just lost. So I'm so good at losing because I've just been losing my whole life that it doesn't bother me anymore. And so, you start to just like the highs don't get so exciting anymore. The losses don't really get so exciting. And so you're really just like, for me, I'm executing a vision and a mission, and everything else is just a piece of it. But ultimately, it's not the outcome that I'm tied to. So like the money is nice, but I'm not tied to the outcome. And if I don't make it, I don't make it. Like there's infinite amount of it. I can go make more. Like there's always another deal.
So you don't get ruined, a day's ruined because somebody backed out of the deal?
No. I get multiple calls where it's like a $400,000 commission cancels or something like that. I'm like, cool. It's part of the game. Like, who cares? But some people can't. They get really messed up over stuff like that, and it ruins their whole day. And my number one priority every day is to maintain a peak state of energy, because the first coach that I hired that really helped me transform from all the mess that I was as a kid, to now who I am. And he said, the outcome can only be as great as the energetic state that you initiate the action.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're trying to do anything in your life, you're initiating a conversation, a podcast, a deal, a client, negotiation, and you're in a bad state of mind and you're in poor energy, you're angry, or you're pissed, or you're sad, or whatever, you're going to get a bad outcome. So there's no point in even having the conversation or trying to do the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I realized I was having such bad outcomes because I was always in a negative state of mind. I was always stressed out. I was always anxious. I was always operating from fear and scarcity and the wrong intention, that it just seemed like nothing ever worked out in my favor. But when I shifted to learning how to manage my energy and learning how to get in a peak state and protecting my energy above all else, no matter what, meaning cutting out every single person in my life that sucked the life out of me, not, choosing specifically what type of clients I work with and working with people that are aligned, hiring people that are aligned with my values. Like, don't care what your production numbers are. What are your values? How is your energy? Like, are we aligned? So I started making decisions based off that, doing work that I actually enjoyed instead of just doing work that I thought I had to do to accomplish whatever it was that I was trying to accomplish. That started compounding in my life. And all of a sudden, all my results started getting way better. I started looking better. I started feeling better. I started making more money. I started having more clarity. And I started to actually fall in love with my life for the first time ever. And so that's what I prioritize. It's not the outcome of anything. It's how do I maintain a peak state and stay aligned with my true north and my mission? And the rest of it just literally comes to me. I mean, I work hard, but
journal,
it comes.
manifest? Do you write your goals down every day?
Not every day. I try the Steve Jobs thing. I hate the word try, but I'm just being honest. I'm
What's the
very
Steve Jobs
bad
thing?
at it. Every morning when you wake up, write down the 3 most important things that you have to get done
I
that
do
day.
that. I don't know the Steve Jobs thing.
Yeah, well, I try to do that, and then I get so bogged down in the day, and then he would not stop the day until he got those 3 things done. I will stop the day. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna pick it back up tomorrow. So but that focus, that clarity of focus, is so important. And I don't know, having a startup, like, I have to wear a lot of hats, and so it's a little bit challenging to just have pure focus because I do have to manage a lot of things that aren't exactly like they are driving the needle forward in the direction I want to go, but it's maybe not as focused as I could be.
Are you a good boss? Do you think your staff likes you?
Yeah, I think so. I really try to be a good leader. I'm definitely not the best leader, I think, because I don't have all the experience, right? Like, I'm a 29, I'm almost 30, and I've always been entrepreneurial, and I try really hard to always lead from a place of like encouragement and inspiration and grace. And we're all in this together, and give people really the freedom and flexibility and autonomy to be who they are and like have an impact. And, but I also know that, I've never been a CEO of a $1 billion company. And so I don't have the training or structure that some of these companies have. So I'm always trying to learn how to be a better leader and read more leadership books and go to leadership training and all of that. But it also is challenging because I have team members all over the country.
Mm-hmm.
And so I found it is challenging to try to keep that culture and that connection and lead as effectively when you aren't really together every day. So I'm navigating that and like how to build a better culture with a remote model.
I find that for us, it's like my wife and I make mistakes where the people that work for us, we try to make, we're all like friends, but then we're too good of friends. And then it's like, hey, I need this done today, and it doesn't get done. Like we can't fix that. We don't know how to overcome that. It happens to us all the time.
Yeah. No, I get that. I don't think you should really be friends with your employees.
I don't think you should either.
Yeah. I mean, you're friendly, but
Right.
you're not friends.
But it's a problem sometimes because you're going to lunch, you're going to dinners, you're hanging out with people, you're trying to be this, like, we're like, oh no, we work together. But in reality, they work for me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of a, you know what I mean?
I know exactly.
It's like,
mean.
I had this great boss. And he said to me, I was a salesperson and he was the owner of the radio station. And I'll never forget, he came over, I was at a party and I was going to introduce him to my clients. And he comes over and he goes, how you doing? I'm Bruce. I work with Johnjay. And I was like, wow. He said, I work with. Because he knows that I'm about to go, oh my God, the boss is coming. He's coming over here right now. Like, and that's what I did. Like that, you know what I mean? So he made me feel equal. And I had such respect for that. But when I do that, all of a sudden we're just all friends. Screw you, Johnjay, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, right?
Yeah.
We can't it's
No.
like an ongoing problem for us.
I get it. I think, well, the people problem is always the biggest problem. Like people, I'm so excited for robots. I mean,
For robots?
Yeah. I mean, I love everything I do is because of people. I love people. I love connection, but people are hard to navigate. I mean, business is easy. It's the people that's hard, right? Dealing with your team, dealing with your clients, like learning how to navigate human emotion, relationships, motivation. Everybody has a different personality. Everybody has a different drive, and everybody has different values. And so to try to put all of that into a cohesive team where everybody's rowing the boat in the same direction consistently, day after day, year after year, is really hard, really, really, really hard. And so like, I hope to master that at some point, but I don't know. I think I hire pretty quickly and I fire pretty quickly because you really don't know how someone works until they're part of your organization. And I think over time, through hiring more and you start to weed out, eventually you really build your core team. I hope that you build your rock solid core team, but it's hard because loyalty is just not really as much of a thing anymore. And people just want to, they train you, go work for a company for 2 years and then go get a raise somewhere else. And now it's like a year. People are just hopping. I look at these resumes. I'm like, you haven't stayed at a company for more than 12 months in 10 years. Like, why would I want to hire you? But then you're like, well, you're really qualified and you have a great resume and you seem like whatever. So it definitely is challenging. But then, and then you try to make them a part of the company and then you try to do profit share. But then it's like, okay, if everybody's getting a profit share, like there's nothing left for, the company. Right. So it's tough to navigate, but it's fun. That's the challenge. That's the game. That's the mastery, like the commitment to mastery.
When you fire someone, do you say you're fired? Or do you say,
No.
we're going to have to let you go? Things aren't like, are you like that? Or are you brutal?
No, I'm not brutal. I'm pretty blunt in my communication naturally. I don't really know how else to communicate. Like I'll say that on application. I'm like, hey, it's kind of a red flag. You've been jumping around every year. And some people are like, oh, well, whatever. I'm like, well, I'm just, why? Why have you been jumping around? Why would you not jump on me, right? So I'll ask that pretty open and honestly, with a smile, of course. But no, I just say, I usually say something like, this isn't a very good alignment. Like we're not fully aligned here. And I feel like for you to reach your potential, it's going to need to be at a different position than this. And I want to make sure to support you in what you're capable of.
And then do you hand them a check? Like, here's your last check or
no, no. We just come up with a date that they're leaving.
Do you do it by yourself or with an HR person?
Just me right now. Cause we're small.
Right.
I don't have like a whole massive C-suite and HR department. Like I wear a lot of those hats right now.
When you said earlier, you said my first coach.
Yeah.
You said, how many coaches have you had?
A lot.
One-on-one coach, like a success coach that you talk to?
Yeah. Yeah. He was a coach one-on-one and he taught me a lot about energy and that was very life-changing for me. And I teach about it all the time. And cause it's part of my operating system. I have a mentor that I meet with every month, one-on-one. And then.
Is it the Rich Dad Poor Dad guy?
No. Well, I see him like every week. I see him all the time, but he, we talk. We're always learning and sharing ideas and stuff like that, but I'm not really asking him direct business advice.
But the mentor is face to face.
Yeah. Well, he's in Canada, but
Zoom.
we teams meet.
Okay.
Yeah. But he's amazing. He's a billionaire. So he just thinks so big and it's really exciting for me because sometimes I'm like, I'm just trying to figure out, how do I find this one person that I need to hire? And he's like, just go buy all these companies, and so it's cool to see that big thinking and it really pushes me. And the way he believes in me, he's like, oh yeah, you're the female Black Rock, things like that. Like he just believes in me so much and will say these crazy numbers that I'm going to build and accomplish and do. And I'm like, oh, wow, really?
That's great.
I could do that, and I don't think like that naturally. I'm just like trying to solve this little problem over here. So I think it's good to have different coaches for different things, right? Because he's not going to help me implement this hiring issue I'm having right now, but he's a big picture thinker of like, think beyond what you're doing right now. So you can solve bigger problems because you might be focusing your attention on the wrong thing.
Have you read the book, The Magic of Thinking Big?
I think I have, but not in a long time.
David Schwartz is my favorite book of all time.
I'm going to have to
It's my favorite. It came out like in the 40s or something like that, 50s. It's fantastic.
Then I have not read it.
It's,
Yeah.
I mean, they redo it, whatever they do. But
Yeah.
it's like, to me, every success book that's ever come out after that is copying this book. I think, and I always feel like it's a cheat code because no one's going that far back.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can find it, it's fantastic.
Oh, okay. I want to
The
read
magic
that.
of thinking big. It's just fantastic.
Yeah.
What are your favorite restaurants in town?
Catch.
Really?
I love Catch. I love Maple and Ash, and I love Thea.
I love Thea. Maple and Ash is a little too dark for me.
I love it. I'm going there for my birthday.
You'll take Maple and Ash over Steak 44?
Yeah.
Wow.
I like Steak 44, but I don't like steak that much.
What do you get at Maple and Ash?
The seafood tower and the butter cake,
What do you like so much about Catch?
the sushi, all of it.
Is that your favorite sushi in town? Is Catch
Yeah.
sushi? I don't remember the sushi. Did we have the sushi there? Oh, we did? Wow.
It's so
Well, that's
good.
good. Well, I'm not here to judge your restaurants.
Yeah. Steak 44 is good too.
That's our favorite restaurant, Steak 44. I
Yeah.
love Thea too. I love the sushi at Thea. I love the sushi at, where did I just eat? With Jeff? Where did I eat at Jeff? With Jeff? No.
Uchi?
No.
Nobu?
The Houston spinoff.
Hillstone?
Hillstone.
Yeah.
I love their sushi.
That's where I go with Robert all the
I
time.
love that place.
Yeah, Hillstone's good.
Yeah.
But I'm a big environment person.
Mhm.
I like new, bougie
Well,
environments.
Catch is new.
Yeah. So like, I don't, if going to Mastro's, it's kind of like an old vibe.
Right.
Yeah. So I just like the energy and the newness of it all. Like I like working out at a new gym.
Oh,
I like having a new car, new house.
How often do you get a new car?
Yeah, like every year. But now I don't. I'm keeping, because I don't like the new G-Wagons.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm keeping mine for 5 years. My whole
Okay.
depreciation timeline.
So you go to a new gym all the time?
Well, no, I just go to a gym that was recently built. I just like the newness.
That's funny because I like the same thing over and over and over again. I don't like to go somewhere new.
No, I like that too. But just the things that I generally go to and fall in love with and then go there over and over again tend to be newer things.
You know, you should check out my doctor's office. They have, again, I feel like I talk about these same things because I'm such a believer in this stuff. My doctor she's got these 4 hyperbaric chambers. You ever done that before?
Yes.
Like
After my surgery, I went and did those.
Oh, you go in a tank and the
Yeah.
big kind, like.
Yeah, there's one in North Scottsdale, Eminent Wellness.
Oh, well, there's one right closer. There's one off of Lincoln.
Oh, really?
On Scottsdale Road. Yeah, that's where I go. And I like just to like for me, it feels like there has to be this moment of just where you get just you time, right? Do you have that where you're like for me, I get up so early that the first hour and a half of the day is just me.
That's nice.
It's just me because I get up so early, right?
Yeah.
So so from 3 to like 4:30 or actually more, or when I leave.
3?
I do a morning show. I have to get up really. I get up really early, but I have to I write down, I journal some of my thoughts. My handwriting's terrible. No one can read it.
Me too.
But I feel like just getting it out there and clean my brain and focus. Then I have certain things I have to do, like to prepare for you. I have to clean my mind and just okay, what should I ask? What should I say? Should I wear the stupid colors? Where's my black t-shirt? That's what I've been doing. You look at the podcast, scroll down, it's all black, and then all of a sudden I start throwing these different colors in there and look like a disaster. But would you meet, if I set up the meeting, would you meet with her and let her do your colors?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd love her.
Yeah. No, that sounds exciting. I know ChatGPT, I had to do my colors, but I need legit colors. I think that sounds good. The whole thing though is just I need a shot. And then it's just challenging because, it's like a $2,000 shoes. I'm like, okay, well, if I start wearing pink, now I got to get all new shoes to match my pink. And then I got to get new purses. It's just a whole thing.
But she can do it all for you. She does all that for you.
Yeah, but it's going to make me go broke.
No, I don't think you're going to go broke.
Abundance. Yeah, there's more money around the corner.
Well, thank you for being on my podcast.
Of course.
I'm really glad you came
Thank
on
you.
my podcast. Really, really glad. So thanks.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so welcome to our podcast. This is a little bit different today because this podcast is a spin-off of our radio show.